What's going on, smart people? Yesterday, I posted a video on what my New Year's resolution is. I said that by this time next year, I would like to have a solid idea on whether I'm going to be going the perturbative QCD route or the lattice QCD route. And the reason I chose this one is because even if I don't really fulfill it, if I'm still a little uncertain by the end of the year, at least it'll force me to learn more about those fields in the meantime instead of just focusing on the tasks at hand, focusing on my schoolwork, which is still important, but if I'm not telling myself, if I'm not actively telling myself I need to be thinking about that, I won't be. And I also said at the end of the video that I wanted you to comment what your New Year's resolutions were. I'm going to be going over them today. Now, there's 150 comments. If 100 of those comments are people saying they want to exercise more, I'm probably not going to show all of those in the video, not because it's a bad resolution, but just because people probably don't want to hear that over and over and over again. So just thought I'd let you know if you don't see your comment in the video, that might be why, if it just gets a little too repetitive. So I apologize, I'm a little bit sick right now, but new year, new me. That means in 2 days I will be not sick. That's how it works. First one. I think my resolution will be to be more diligent with my university work and work more consistently. That's a good one. I should have said in yesterday's video to say how you're going to be doing these resolutions. Instead of just saying, I'm going to do this, it'd be kind of cool to read your plan on doing so. Mine is trying to get a summer research program. Yeah, there's really two ways of doing it mainly. You've got SULI and REU. Sometimes you could do some work with your professors. I've actually done that as well. I actually have videos too on how to get a REU internship. Mine is to get better at programming with Python. That's what I'm most familiar with. It's amazing how many resources there are online for doing Python. Half of my bookmarks are how to do certain things. Stack Overflow, YouTube videos. My New Year's resolution is to get back with my experimental physics. Good one. I have the opposite, actually. I want to do even less experimental physics than I did last year, which was none, so that might be impossible. Speaking of experimental physics, I found out that I do have to take an advanced experimental physics lab, even though I'm going to be, I'm in school for theoretical physics, which if you ask me, I might not enjoy it that much, but it's probably very, very necessary. I actually have more than one. I want to start doing homework and actually all college work using LaTeX. Andrew inspired me to do this actually. I spend way too much time writing my notes on paper because I like them to be perfectly neat. It takes too much time. This might actually be faster. I already bought LaTeX in 24 hours. You don't have to buy LaTeX. It's free. Spend less time in front of screens. That's contradictory. You're going to be doing a lot of that if you're doing your homework in LaTeX. That iPhone app that gives weekly reports on your average screen time made me perceive that I use my phone 3 hours a day, every day, and that's too much. I probably use it more than that, to be honest. I want to get better grades. I work so hard in college, literally do academic work at least 6 hours a day, including blah, 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 but my grades aren't the best. I'm negatively surprised when I get a B because I truly feel I should be a straight A student. It's super demotivating whenever the outcome isn't proportional to the effort you put in. I've talked about it before. It's all about if you're studying that hard and not getting the same thing, there's something wrong with the way that you're studying. I'll probably talk about that later or in a different video. Yeah, that's good. I like LaTeX is cool. It's not that much of a time saver, if any, but you can find certain. All right, so if I'm doing something on paper and I'm flipping through my notes, it's hard to retrieve certain buzzwords, or if I want to find a certain section, it's pretty easy to do that with LaTeX because I have all my files, and then I can just Control F if I need to find specific notes. Andrew, do you go to NMSU? You should consider having a meet and greet for your fans. El Paso. I was in El Paso yesterday. Actually going there for New Year's. Get your autograph. That's funny. No, I would be totally down to meet people and have like an actual conversation. Time management will be my resolution. People underestimate the importance of that. You can't create time out of thin air, but you can definitely use yours more efficiently. I want to do well on the PGRE and start grad school applications. Can't believe I already need to do this. Feel like I just graduated high school. Yeah, I feel you. The PGRE. I hate such an evil test. My New Year's resolution is to do more extracurricular stuff, and by more I mean some. Yeah, it is easy to have tunnel vision, I guess, and just do the same thing. That becomes monotonous. You get stuck in a rut. It's nice to change things up. Maybe pick up an instrument. My New Year's resolution is to stop procrastinating. It's harder to do than you think. and maybe people will disagree with me on this, but if you're in college already, or you already have like a defined work strategy, it's less of trying to stop procrastinating and learning how to, and more so learning how to work around it. I found. I want to make time for my passion in astrophysics. I grind in school constantly, which is good, but it takes so much time away, and I lose sight of why I work so hard in the first place. Maybe you're before like a specialty. Are you going into astrophysics and you're just not there yet, but you want to make sure you do your researching in your free time? I had to do a lot of that too. It's like I said when I was talking about my resolution. If I don't actively tell myself I want to research something or I want to look into something, it's too easy to focus on the here and now. For college, I still have to get an A in a math course. Closest I came was a B minus. In terms of health, lost 50 pounds this year. Congratulations, got another 40 to go. Plus, on the end of the year, I want to be able to do all 3 basic gymnastic movements: forward roll, handstand, cartwheel. I timed how long I can do a handstand for before, without any support. I think the longest I was able to do it was like maybe barely over 30 seconds. Handstands are tough. I plan on mastering Python. Try to get into C++ afterwards. I'd like to get better at C++ again. I've probably forgotten quite a bit since the course I took. My resolution is to study physics abroad in Switzerland. I've always wanted to visit Switzerland, and it'll be cool seeing Zurich Polytechnic and the university where Einstein got his degree. I didn't know that what is that? Munich? Is that where he went to school? I don't quite remember. McKillen. My New Year's resolution is to be crazy productive and prepare for my KVPY exam. It's a scholarship exam. Okay, it's probably the best place to do a major in physics. I've not started preparing and I have about 10 months for the exam. I mean, that's a pretty good head start. I don't care what test you're taking. If you're starting 10 months in advance, I don't see what test would take longer to study for than that and do relatively well. I want to read or do work in books not required by my courses for at least 45 minutes every day. I hesitate to make that number higher because I have a pretty full schedule next semester. Good luck with your resolutions. I like it. Seems like so far a lot of people want to do more than what's required from them. Some people would just say, I want to do better in my schoolwork. And a lot of people are steering away and saying, I want to do my schoolwork, but I want to make time for other stuff, which is super important so that you don't drive yourself crazy. To read at least 40 books. It doesn't matter what topic, I just have to read them. I'm not a huge reader. I like reading textbooks. I really do. When I was on the plane ride here, I was reading my quantum field theory book. 40 books, that would be very overwhelming for me, I think. I haven't really found a particular genre that I really like reading from. Did PewDiePie read like 70 books last year? It's pretty crazy. It's crazy, relative to someone who doesn't actively read all that much. My New Year's resolution is to understand tensors to the point where I'm comfortable with them. They're not as scary as you might think. I mean, watch a couple videos just to understand the basic operations and what makes them them. Do a couple examples. And then, I mean, sure, you can make them arbitrarily as complicated as you want, but to get the general idea, not as bad as you think. To sit the imperial string theory exam, setting myself up to fail there. I don't know what that is. Did you make that up? I don't know. You could have, for all I know. I mean, good luck with your exam if that's what you're taking. String theory is way over my head, though. Resolution, I'm going to figure out what I want to study for my master's. Right now, I think theoretical physics seems to suit me best. I would think you'd got to be more specific than that. I don't know if theoretical physics sounds a little broad. First, really, I keep forgetting to heart the comments. Stop daily uploading and go study. Don't worry, I have been. My resolution, I'm a high school student. I want to study automobiles in Germany, but alongside that, I want to complete the entire grad physics before I turn 20. I'm 17 now. It's implausible, but not impossible. Good luck. Yeah, it took me 5 years. But then again, I mean, at least in undergrad in the US, pretty much 2 of those 4 years that it takes you to do undergrad is spent just doing gen eds. So maybe if you just did... Oh, but you said grad physics. I don't know. Good luck. Maintain my daily workout program, become more proficient in time management, and develop a better method of note-taking. People take... I think a bad tendency that a lot of people have is just taking notes on every single thing that they hear. instead of really listening and be like, do I really not know that? Or is that really something I need to be able to reference? My New Year's resolution is to be more consistent with my college work, be more organized. Python is I'll need next year for lab, but also C++. Also very basic, but get in shape and work out more often. Fair enough. To solve that conjecture using a topological approach, it's more complicated, but anyhow, I don't know what that is, I'm going to be honest. Can you make a video explaining the difference between perturbative and lattice QCD at some point? I definitely will at some point, once I fully understand it. Mine would be to try new things and explore physics without getting scared. You only get scared if you look too far ahead, because it's that you see how much you have to cover, instead of seeing like the gradual slope that you actually are covering when you're learning it. That's what makes things scary. I'm in a weird place in my PhD program. I work more on my current project, the more I lose interest in it. I often find myself thinking about other related topics. I'm in the process of trying to change my current research direction. I'm a third year, so it's a bit late to switch projects now, but if I do, I feel like even though it may extend my time in grad school, I'd be much happier. Solidify your topic and prepare for the qualifying exam, which you guys call the comprehensive. I could see how miserable that would be to just be stuck with that topic if you're in that for like another 2 years of studying something you just don't care about. Yeah. My resolution is to finish the Principle of Mathematical Analysis by Rudin. Rudin has a, do they have a complex analysis book too? Mine is to do some extracurricular stuff. Kind of a paid job, find myself the best bachelor's project. Cool. My New Year's is to learn quantum field theory. Okay. I want to reduce watch time on YouTube while saying this on YouTube. Maybe also be less contradictory in the future. Or so minimize on other channels and more so on mine. So you can keep it up on my channel as much as you want. Mine will be learning how to study properly. I had problems in the past, but now I'm at university and I feel it's getting out of control. I like to get better at time management. Just got a ukulele. I'd love to get up to an intermediate level. Any song suggestions? Everyone's first song on ukulele is Somewhere Over the Rainbow because it's pretty basic. I mean, ukulele is not that hard to... It's really not that hard. The frets are really close together. It's 4 strings. I mean, if you want to play like a C chord, it's literally just holding down 1 fret. It's a pretty approachable instrument if you ask me. It's like few strings where you still get to play a lot of chords. It's not really a thing here. Wait. So I've never had one, but it would be something along investing into my studies on a personal level, shift my focus from just trying to pass courses to actually learning stuff because I want to. And since next semester will be the most physics dense in my entire bachelor's, things are looking pretty good. Awesome. My resolution is to learn more, try to be happy and healthier, to actually use my potential and will energy and stop saying I'll do it next year. I want to be more social. I have a very difficult time socializing, and it's a skill I need to have in life. Good luck with yours. I find that the older I get, the harder it is for me to socialize too, so I'm in there with you. When I moved to New Mexico, that was just kind of like a personal goal too, is to, you know, get back out there and start socializing. But then I realized how hard grad school is and how much I'm confined in my room. My New Year's resolution is to get going with topological field theory. It's always been interesting to me, so I figured I'd learn it in 2019. Let me know if you have any books that you recommend. I like the book that I have in regular quantum field theory because it spends like an equal amount of time on the regular approach and then the path integral formulation of field theory. My resolution is to be finally fluent in Spanish and get straight A's in my second, third semesters of college. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school and then just stopped. I wish I stuck with it. My New Year's resolution is to find time to hang out with my friends during the semester. I study non-stop every second of every day. I panic that if I hang out, I lose. It's hard. I feel the same way. I know exactly what you mean. Mine is to exterminate the engineers that plague our pure world with their approximations. Hey man, you may not be too far in physics yet if you think it's engineers that do all the approximations. My New Year's resolution will be to learn more advanced GR with the help of an awesome book, A Relativist Toolkit. God, I love GR. Is it bad that I never make a New Year's resolution? No, because, I don't know, in a sense I understand. You don't really need the Earth to finish another lap to get started on something. And if you don't have one, then people feel like, oh, I'll wait till next year to do it. I understand not having one. I have a good friend of mine who asked for a short summaries on what's to come in Quantum 2. It'd be cool if I teched out some of my resolutions to write up a tech document every week on that topic. So now I'm talking about, okay. And for me in Quantum 2, it was just a lot of the approximative methods like perturbation theory and variational methods. My New Year's resolution, time management. Bring my Android app to beta, well, that's exciting, and prepare for physics coursework. I've seen your other video, what to expect in first year physics. Since I'm transferring to a 4-year institution and I won't need to focus on gen eds, how difficult would it be to take Calc 1 and Physics 1 and Calc 2 with Physics 2? Do they go over the same math over the summer? Well, Calc or Physics 2, if you're taking the calculus based, actually uses a little bit of Calc 3 because you go over things like line and surface integrals because it's Maxwell's equations. Maxwell's equations fundamentally in differential form are partial differential equations, but if you're doing calculations, it's easier to do them in integral form, in which case you're doing calculus on vector quantities, you need Calc 3, you need multivariable calculus. But you don't necessarily need a full course in multivariable calculus to get the idea of how to do some of those integrals just because everything is so symmetric. So you could, if you could take calculus before all that stuff, I think that's ideal, but it's still doable. My 2019 resolution is to convince myself of going back to university to study physics. I have a degree in industrial design, but I always knew I wanted to continue studying. I have incredible luck of living in a country where university education is free. I just need tons of personal motivation and patience to combine a new degree with my current workflow in life. Who knows, maybe I'll finally do it. Happy New Year and best of luck. Good luck to you as well. I think you can do it. Believe in yourself. I want to get off my lazy ass and start making vids again, because for real, I'll be done with high school in February, so it's definitely something I'll be able to do. What kind of videos do you make? Are they physics videos? I'll check it out. It's literally impossible to dislike your videos. Tell that to, I mean, there's always a couple. There's always a couple of dislikes, and the popular ones always have like over 100. So some people disagree. My eventual goal is to get into artificial intelligence. I'd like to focus more effort on that particular direction. I'd like to learn more about that too, because right now it's just terrifying. I'm trying to cut a little bit, so I guess my New Year's resolution would be to watch my diet. I've basically plateaued in the gym, but my diet is holding me back a lot. Yeah, diet is, I'd say it's at least 50% of the whole package. If they have MyFitnessPal, if you have like an iPhone, I thought that that's really helpful because if you do diets like if it fits your macros, which is personally what I think is the easiest to do, it'll track your percentages and stuff, and you can scan barcodes to keep track of how much protein, carbs, and fats you're eating and how many calories. And you can also set goals. You can implement goals into it, which it'll keep track of. And for me, I liked it because it kind of felt like a game, like a puzzle of making sure all of the macronutrients added up to the right percentages. My second biggest passion behind physics is language learning, and with that, my resolution is to work on my 2 languages I'm learning every day for all year, whether it be converse. So what are you learning? What languages? Oh, is it like a coding language? Learn some vocab? So no. Okay, cool. I like to learn more languages. I'd like to actually go back and learn more Spanish again. I wonder how much I've really forgotten. Japanese would be cool too. I'm committing 80 to 100 hours of study a week and finish 12 graduate physics undergrads. Yeah, I've seen you comment quite a bit. You have goals of finishing quite a few textbooks this year. With your current decision relating to QCD, is this decision for your PhD? Yes, because outside you could do both. Right. Yeah, this is for PhD because really I have the option of a couple advisors, and one does lattice, one does perturbative, so I'd have to figure that out. Mine's kind of the undergrad version of yours. I want to start getting closer to professors so I can do some research as an undergrad. Research is so, yes, it's good for your resume, but it's good on, I think it's really important to find out what you don't really give a shit about. So that's kind of good for research too. Try new things, not just what you think you've already are really interested in. I want to write a really good bachelor's thesis, get into your program, get better at coding, and get buff. Probably should hit the gym more often. Jeez, what a cliche. My goal this year is to figure out where my interests tend to fall in physics. I'm past 1 and 2, so I'm getting into more major specific classes. Mine is to get better at programming, Java specifically, and to start network with people, companies without internships. I'm a freshman cybersecurity major. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. I mean, it's typical. I mean, it's a good goal, though. I mean, getting in better shape, there's nothing wrong with that. And get a job after I graduate this spring and sort of figure out what I want to do with my life and, more importantly, figure out where I'm going to live. My resolution is to get a scholarship and study physics in the U.S. The exam is on February. Good luck. Maintain my 4.0, read one book a month, and maybe learn how to code. My New Year's resolution, I'm going to start working out again, make my way through abstract algebra, linear algebra textbook. It sounds like a lot. I'm a slow learner. Hey, join the club. We've got t-shirts. Mine is to get better at sending thank you cards to people. Dotson always sends their thank you card. I like your name, by the way. Through blue, more blue. Bump my GPA up by actually trying. Okay. I'll fail, not assuming I'll fail anyways. So I talk myself out of giving myself a fair chance. Study hard, get good grades. Learn properly now that I'm finally thinking to study within my field. Okay, ooh, passion. The hospital CEO, since I can't be a surgeon due to my epilepsy. Not really a fan of New Year's resolutions. Seem to give people an excuse to wait on doing things. That's one way of looking at it too. Tomorrow is right around the corner. Today is always here, so stop chasing your tail and make things happen. Not wrong, but some people, it's just extra incentive than every other day, I guess. Get a copy yours and say, figure out what I want to do with an undergrad degree. Get a 99.7 HEAR to get into course. Let me try that again. To get into the course I want with the scholarship I want. I don't know what the HEAR is. There's so many acronyms of all these tests. My resolution is to definitely read more, go to the gym more often, and in general, just to be more disciplined so that I can accomplish any goal I set this year. Good goal. I have two resolutions. I'm going to find a good internship for this summer. I want to study more efficiently and be able to play more sports, which actually helps me be more efficient, a nice positive feedback loop. One New Year's resolution would be to finish reading 13 volumes of Euclid's Elements, which I just got on the 25th. Won't really be any problem, but it's remotely resolution worthy at the moment. I can get working on more scholarships too. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what that book is on. 13 volumes. Is it just a comprehensive number of volumes of certain math subjects in math? My New Year's resolutions are to read more physics books and to go further understand physics, to progress in all of my classes in high school, especially math, and to finish my junior year strong, to start working out again and hopefully change my body from hella thin to swole AF. I just want to make some physical improvements that I've been wanting to make for a long time. Hopefully this new year will be a good one. I hope to stick to my goals. I hope you do too. It's really easy to start. It's even easier to stop. I gotta stop procrastinating and making goals that I'm not gonna keep, or I gotta actually keep those goals. Happy New Year, all. My New Year's resolution: survive StatMech, increase my Python skills so I can become much more efficient in my research internship. God, I love Python. I'm in high school. I've been finding the content we're doing pretty easy for the past while. This year, I plan on pushing myself more and trying to get into some undergrad math or physics. Any advice on where to start? An introductory physics textbook, maybe the Feynman lectures, something like that. You're not going to be, if you don't know physics already, you're not, the way that I always put it, either learn how to love physics more with the popular science books, or start learning physics with an introductory physics textbook. I mean, if you're in high school, you're not going to be doing quantum mechanics right away. You got to learn linear algebra. So maybe get the solid foundation of the math, linear algebra, calculus, differential equations. That'll help you with the harder physics, and with the introductory physics, it'll help you build more of an intuition. What do you expect to happen? Like those kinds of things. My New Year's resolution will be to learn a new skill, programming. I want to start with R for school reasons, but I intend to pick up Python as well, and probably some other learning schools. What suggestions do you have for learning to code? Just come up with projects and try and figure out why things don't work. I mean, try to learn the syntax and the structure of the language that you're learning first, a little bit, some of the basics. But other things you wouldn't really know what you don't know until you try to do something. And then you go to Stack Overflow and you learn how people do similar things. It's not the best advice, but it got me kind of far with coding. Fourth year physics major here. Need to start reading more books so I can make that my resolution. Already picked up a couple for my research trip to Arizona. What's in Arizona? What research facility is there? We trying to get into grad school and do theory physics, fam. Join the club. Well, I guess I'm in grad school now. Cool. Awesome. My New Year's resolution is to finish up my process for joining the Marines and get through officer training this summer. Fighter pilot, here I come. That's fantastic. One of my really good friends just got into OCS. Good job, Cully. I'm starting my maths master's next year. My resolution is to get good at maths. So do you already have a degree in maths? I want to improve my ability to prioritize long-term goals and be mindful about how I use my time. My physics New Year's resolution is to have clear division between work and free time, also to get a summer research internship and to get a distinction in my exams. Most importantly, though, I'll try not to kill myself in labs due to either frustration or clumsiness. I have no advice for that one because I felt the same way. Andrew, show us Kelly. I really want to see her astronomy master's update. It's actually a PhD program, not a master's. She's working right now, otherwise I would call her in. She's in the zone. Getting a perfect score on the SAT. My New Year's resolution is to get into my uni and to get a high enough GPA to transfer from science to engineering. Give me some juicy approximations. We got plenty of approximations here in physics, I promise. I'm just going to try to pass my quals. Good luck on those, by the way. That's a great resolution. I've always wanted to study QCD, but was always limited by my surface knowledge of quantum mechanics. My New Year's resolution is to learn more about physics, in particular quantum. I want to learn group theory, get farther into analytic number theory. I also want to play tennis more. Ooh. Tennis confuses me. The point system is confusing to me. Don't really do New Year's resolutions per se. I'm going to try and see what I'm really interested in with research. This year I want to learn French and finish Calc 2. Hi. My New Year's resolution is to visit CERN and the LHC in Switzerland. That would be amazing. Survive. This year I want to pass the P exam. I don't know what that is. Physics exam? Pomegranate exam? My resolution is to build a telescope with better resolution. Practice guitar a solid 1 hour a day minimum. I'm quite proficient, but really want to use my spare time for something that I not only enjoy, like means, but something that's a long-term benefit, not means. So basically, if I accomplish this goal by 2020, I'll play a lot more songs that I can't. First, JK. You're so funny, Mom. I want to see if I can go ham on math and physics textbooks and learn 70% of undergrad math and physics majors topics before I finish high school. That's a big goal. I wish I was a better student in high school. But I guess I'm happy with where I am now, so it's not a huge deal. My resolution is for Andrew to fail at his resolution. I've unsubscribed. He didn't say which Andrew, so maybe he is talking about like a really mean one. My new resolution: make math and physics my passion and insanely extend my horizons of knowledge, intuitiveness, and concentration of and on the above mentioned subjects. How? Please let me know how. My New Year's resolution probably is to develop my mathematical maturity, going through the standard mathematical topics from the most rigorous books I can find in order to finally understand algebraic topology, and as extension to understand the papers of Witten on gauge theory, Knots, and Jones polynomials for my future research. Also hit the gym. Algebraic topology, isn't that what Terence Tao says is like the most difficult field for him to understand? First, alright, so well, someone's lying. You're second. I want to get into physics RU. I just applied for CERN one, which is through the University of Michigan, and sends me to CERN for a summer. Good luck, that sounds amazing. And you commented twice. Produced my first YouTube video. Secure Berkeley or UCLA. My year abroad. Get a girlfriend. Get a driver's license. Participate in physics research as a relevant member of a team. Secure Berkeley for my year abroad. So is that for undergrad or is that for grad school stuff? I guess it'd be for undergrad. Produce my first YouTube video ever. You better. I want everyone to check on him to make sure he does it. My New Year's resolution is to subscribe to PewDiePie. What a great one to end off on. Guys, that was all of your resolutions. My voice is even more dead. This was a terrible idea. I was surprised to see so many people want to make an effort to do things outside of physics and make sure that they're being active in extracurriculars. Glad to see that, because you can't. It's a great field, love physics, but it's so necessary to expand your horizons and just be overall well-rounded. But that is it for this video. This was a bit of a long one, I know. Let me know in the comment section what you have planned for New Year's, and I will see you guys there.